What up, folks? Once again, it's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Today we're doing a review on the Nakto Super Cruiser, 48 volts, 12 amp hour battery, 500 watt motor. Got a heck of a lot to unpack here. This is a genuine big man's review, 6'6", 300 pounds, depending on what I ate. But before we get into the video on this beautiful piece of machinery, I want you to check out the unboxing. What up? I just received the Nakto. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that name right, the Nakto. This is the Super Cruiser, as you see on the box, 500 watt rear hub motor, 48 volt, 12 amp hour. They have it that it's in color, but obviously. Looking at the box, I just want to show you what's on the box. Not much there, telling you that you need a screwdriver and looks like a few Allen wrenches or something. So they don't give you those tools with the box for assembly, but this is how it arrives. Now the problem is, before I even open this up, unfortunately, is it does have damage to the box. So I'm hoping when I get inside of this, I don't see any damage. In fact, just for safety or for sake of the camera, I'm going to open this up while I'm actually on camera, so you can kind of get a glimpse down into what we're dealing with. So my first time going into it. So well, looking inside, obviously there's going to be a bunch of styrofoam. They make sure these bikes are well protected, so I do like the fact that they got styrofoam. So I just want to take out the styrofoam so you can see the place where the box is damaged and see if any damage was done. Looking down into the box, I don't see any damage from where the hole is located. So I'll go ahead and stop, get all this out, and we'll finish it up. Okay, everything is out the box. Like I stated before, that's where the damage was done when it was shipped. But I mean, it's a metal bike, and where I could see, that's where it came in. There was nothing there in that spot to be damaged, but that is what the box looked like. Here is the bike the way it comes out of the box. So there is some assembly required. Here you would have your seat. We'll take out the seat and see what quality that is. The pedals are detached, obviously, to make the bike a little bit narrower and easier to fit in the box. So the pedals are detached. Below, you can see there, that looks like the rotor for the front wheel. But nevertheless, this is the entire bike as it comes. And there's a fender. The front fender is not attached as well. So looks like we got a nice sized battery there you can see in the back. One of the things I like already is it's easier to lock this bike to the frame. And now I've ridden some of the fold up electric bikes, and the problem is the wheel and the frame are often too far apart to get a good lock through both the wheel and the frame. But because of this bike, you have the frame right here, so you can easily put a lock through both of these and lock it to a pole. I mean, I'm talking about a U-lock, so that is a big plus. Other than that, we'll talk about the rest of it, but there is looks like a 6-speed shifter on there and a few other things to discuss. Now, the bike comes with a 54.6 volt 2 amp charger, so very similar to industry standard on chargers. So there is your layout. I'll go ahead and assemble it, and we'll talk about it in the next video. All right, so you've seen the unboxing. I gotta start out by admitting that Nacto sent this to me to review. So I'm going to give you a fair and unbiased review, but I want it to be candid and open to my viewers, because that is what I do. I give honest, open reviews. Now, as I stated earlier in the video, I am 6'6", 300 pounds. So that's probably as big as you need to know for these bikes. I am a big guy. Just letting you know, even though this is just a review of the piece of machinery itself, I have taken it for a ride already. It is certainly capable of 20 plus miles an hour. They state 28 miles an hour. I've had it up to 22 miles an hour, throttle only. So this is not a slow bike despite its beastly nature. So we're going to tell you a few things about it. First of all, you see it is not a step over bike. 34 inches of clearance, so Understand that if you are a shorter rider, stepping over the frame may have its challenges. Now, even for my 6'6" body, as you see, the seat is quite high up on this bike. There is a lot of travel. The seat can go all the way down for my shorter riders. So that is one of the benefits. And we'll talk about the seat in a minute with the video. But as you see, it's a quick release seat for those who are concerned with security, such as myself. I often take the seat with me when I leave the bike. So going over some of the specs, it is a fat tire bike, 26-inch tires, 4 inches wide. So this is a beast, folks. This is a beastly bike. And these tires, the nature, the size of them, provide a hell of a lot of cushion to some of the bumps. 26-inch tires, 4 inches wide. Next, we're going to talk about the suspension of the bike. There is no rear suspension, so that is something you may want to consider, certainly in terms of upgrading maybe the seat or the seat pole. But in the front, you get 90 millimeters of travel on the front fork. So you do have front suspension, but there is no rear suspension. You got, in terms of braking, this is not a hydraulic brake bike. You have 160 millimeter rotors. You have your traditional cable brakes, and that is front and rear. And from what I've seen, like I said, 300 pounds, I am able to get pretty good stopping power, even from 20 plus miles an hour. So 60 millimeter front rotors, not hydraulic. In addition to that, we'll just give you a frontal view of what you're working with on the dashboard here, or as you want to call it. You got ergonomic grips, so you can put your palms there. I like the accenting of them. Looks like a bronze gold combination there. Metallic indeed. Very straight handlebars, metallic handlebars. As you see, the controller is right there. Now, in terms of activating things, you got the power button is literally under your pedal assist control. So you can turn it on and off with that. Here's your pedal assist. You have 5 levels of pedal assist. You see I'm kind of scrolling through them. So for the most part, it is a standard screen. You see these on a lot of different bikes. You got your battery meter across the top, the speed. One thing I like is the speed here in America. It came already set to miles per hour, so you don't have to worry about switching it from kilometers per hour. There is your mileage just on the bike. I did admit I rode it once, so I've already put a mile on it. And there's a bunch of other features in there. You can control different things, such as adding timers and things like that. It has a 6-speed. It comes with a 6-speed Shimano shifter. So I'm sure you're quite familiar with that, shifting up and down, 6-speed shifter. Now the bike has, I don't want to have it on pedal assist there, it actually has a thumb throttle. So it's not a twist throttle, it has a thumb throttle. So that's where your throttle would lie. Basically, you know, your standard braking. I can get 4 fingers on that, even with a hand my size. So you got nice brakes there. But that is what comes across on your handlebar. So everything you need. One thing I will point out, it does have horn and light. The horn is here. I'm not a huge fan of the horn, but we can talk about that in terms of the upgrades we'll cover at the end of the video. And it comes with a light as well. If you see in the front, there is, you can see the light coming on, light going off. Now, the light is not the brightest. It's kind of one of those lights that allows you to be seen, but not necessarily for being able to see. So an upgrade to the lighting might be something to consider in the future. But for budget-friendly bikes, certainly under the $1,500 price point, you're gonna probably get standard type light, standard horn that you're seeing here. Like I said, 20 to 28 miles an hour, so it's not a slow bike. Being a big fat tire bike, it's not seriously maneuverable. I mean, as you see, it's called a cruiser, so it's good on trails, you know, good on flat, straight surfaces where you want to get it from point A to point B. But if you're going to be doing a lot of heavy maneuvering, I always suggest, you know, smaller tires. But I really like this in terms of cushion and comfort. Other than that, we're talking, I'm just kind of looking over the list of other things I want to bring up. In terms of the seat, I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Now, as I said before, the seat does not have any type of suspension in it. So, I mean, that is something you might want to consider in the future if that really means something to you. But with these big tires, you're going to take a hell of a lot out of the road noise that you might face, whether it's bumps and things like that. 26-inch tires, 4 inches wide, you're going to feel that. Here's the battery. Now, I'll have you come, I'm going to turn it around so you can see what we're dealing with the battery. The battery comes with a key. There are 3 positions on it. One is to allow you to turn the bike on and use it. The other position actually turns the bike off. And if you want to remove the battery, you have a couple features here. You have the seat there's a locking mechanism or a switch here that allows you to flip the seat up to get the battery out of the way. And that is what you have for the battery. So you can take the battery in your house and charge it. Or as I always suggest, take it away from the bike for safety purposes in terms of theft. Once you take the battery away from the bike, you significantly reduce the value of the bike. One of the things I like about this bike, speaking in terms of security, because these bikes are high value security issues. One thing I really like about this bike is the frame. You have part of the frame and part of the wheel close enough that you can stick a traditional folding lock through here, lock it around a seat pole or something, and really secure the bike. A lot of bikes, it's very difficult to use a U-lock or something to secure the rear wheel, the frame, to some type of standard or secure object. So I do like that close enough. The front wheel, just like the seat, has a quick safety release. So you can take the entire front wheel off the bike. If you got a lock long enough, you can actually put the front wheel next to the rear wheel, go through the frame, both wheels, and into a pole or whatever, some stable object. So being able to secure the bike, that's really nice, and that's something to consider when purchasing a bike, is how easy I can secure it when I have to be off of it. So I do like that feature. Nevertheless, I will wrap up the video by letting you know this is a beautiful piece of machinery. I really like it. And I'm not just saying that because I got it to review, but I really like almost like the Harley look of it. It kind of gives you like the gas tank look of an actual motorbike, the way the step through is. But as I pointed out, for shorter riders, 34 inches height that you got to step over. So for a shorter rider, that might be an issue. Nevertheless, the next video we will feature is me riding this big boy. You guys can let me know what you think. If you have any questions, feel free to add them in the comments, and I will answer them in kind. But this is the Nakto Super Cruiser. I will put a link in the description as far as those who are interested in purchasing it. And I'll see you in the next video. Now, I'll admit I don't have all the air in the tires, but I just want to show you the speed capabilities. Like I said, 300-pound man on this bike. Trying to see if I can make it so you can